Hi there, welcome back. Obviously, Vernon here. Uh, Basically, I'm just trying to see how what's taking up most of my time lately. I haven't been able to play any games, to be honest. Uh, Going to school, full disclosure, right now. Going to college. This is MySQL, if you can tell from the name up here. And this is database, I guess, scripting, if you will, if you're not familiar with it. And so basically, this is how I make tables and such on. I mean, they get a lot more intricate than this, but let me go and show you like a simple graph, if you will, of what I'm doing here. Let me get diagram. Oh wait, I apologize. Let me go and import my scripting here. Let's see here. We're going to reverse engineer it. VTS project. That's the name of my group. Is VTS. Actually stands for the four people or the three people inside of my group right now. So the table is called Movie Expert. It's just a filler. Um, I have actors, distributors, genres, genre movies, and production companies. And basically, as you can see from this is the simplest way to see it, if you will. Um, there are values to this, but we don't need to get into that right now. Values don't really mean much. It just means whatever you put into it. So we have genres, genre ID and genre name of the genre, action, adventure, whatever, what have you. Genre movies to which links to movies. This is a linking table. And the reason why we have something called a linking table seems really redundant. It's just like, well, why don't you just connect these two together? I apologize about that. We want to connect them together because you don't want to have a many-to-many relationship between movies and genres. It's going to overpopulate this. You have a lot of redundant values inside each table if you do that. So to reduce that, this linking table will have the redundant information inside of it. It's just kind of there. Well, it is what it is. It's a linking table. So this way, for example, I'll show to y'all. I have the Little Mermaid in one column here, and the Little Mermaid can obviously belong to several different ones: animation and fantasy. So down here in the linking table, we populate these values 1 1 because the default value going to be here. It is auto incrementing, which means it just goes in a numerical value order. So 1 2 3 4 just keeps continuing on as you put default there. And that's going to be 1, and of course the first one in here is 1, and so 1 1 1 2. Animation fantasy. Then let's go into our other columns too to tie this in. So default value for Jody Marie Marzorati Benson, who is the primary actor in The Little Mermaid. Obviously, there's at least 9 or 10 voice actors, I believe, at minimum, that actually have dialogue, or that's meaningful dialogue. But we're just focusing on the main stuff. This is for part of my final, so there's that. So back to the diagram, the easy part. We have distributors of movies. Give me this right here. So of course, obviously, Buena Vista Pictures is who released the original Little Mermaid back in 1989. But of course, obviously changed over to Walt Disney Studio motion picture, not motion picture, didn't change over to that till 1992, I believe, or something like that. I had to bring up the article for it. It actually doesn't have to be real, based on real information. This is just a little bit of something that I do, or just wanted to do. It's not necessary, just doing it. Overture Films was for Law Abiding Citizen. Walt Disney Studio Motion Pictures was the official name for when Moana was released. Number 9 was Focus Features and stuff like that. I also have another one, Actors. And of course, we can also see these actors go to Actor ID. So, these first two columns are here for the stage first and last name. Such as actor Jamie Foxx, his real name is Eric Marlon Bishop, and then their date of birth is down here at the end. And then, of course, we have our actual movies, uh, production company of movies. Production company like you have is Walt Disney Animation Studios, the film department, and Till Burton Productions, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I can show you what like the movies table will look like. So we'll select rows, and this is the information we see. Movie ID 1234, like I said. The movie title or movie name, Little Mermaid. I do need to correct that I. It's capitalized. Runtime, release date, its rating, its gross in USD or United States dollar if you're outside. The actor ID. This just relates to the other tables more or less. Production ID and distributor ID. Because in an actual environment, like you wouldn't see that. So let's go and put down select. We'll go ahead and put down movie name, and then we'll put down run time in minutes, of course. We can put down release date, and then we can put down, this one's will be a little more advanced. It's called concat, basically just putting things together. But I'll put WS for this one because I will be using some other tactics. And when you use concat WS, the first part of it is going to be your filler or your spacer information, if you will. And I'll show that to you as I type this out. So for this one, we're just going to put a space, put them in commas, and then it'll be actor first name, and then after actor first name, actor last name, and that will put that together in that kind of format. It just basically makes a space. If we had a little bit more, like if I put a middle name, it'd be a little more easier. In this case, it doesn't really make a difference. And then we'll put down production company, or really production company name, and then we'll put down distributor name. Oop. And then we can also do genre name. And this does call for quite a bit, but this is basically what you would see. So I'm just showing you. So it'll be from our main table movies. We do have to make a join here. I'm joining multiple tables through this. So we're joining movies. We cannot do that. I apologize. I had to work this way. Yeah, no, from movies. Join. Let's go with genre. We'll go with genre movies. No, we have to go with genres. So from genres, use genre movies using movie ID, join genres, using genre ID. So I'm going to keep it simple here real quick. So we'll do that just from two different tables. I don't want to show or overflood the information I'm giving to y'all. So we have this from two different tables. We run this, and oh, I did not select my database, which is Movie Expert. That did not. This should run. Okay, so here we go. So this is what you'll see: Little Mermaid. Its run time's 92 minutes. Release date, genre name, and then if we did use another join, it would be. We'd have to actually do this a little bit backwards. I'd join from genres to genre ID, or genre movies. Yeah, I'm going to do that. If we want to include everything else or some other information, we'll go from genres, join genre movies using genre ID. Then we will join movies using movie ID. And then we would join, let's go with actors using actor ID. And then of course that's when we actually go back to our concat, which I should have kept, but concat WS, and I'll show you the fancy way of doing something like this. So we'll go with actor first name. No, we're going to go last name since we're doing it fancy. Actor last name, and then date of birth. Actor date of birth. And then we'll put that as actor info. This is known as a column alias. It's basically the name you see right here. Oop. First, sorry about that. Okay, so we see in the Little Mermaid, you know, obviously we have its double genres and, you know, animation, fantasy. In this case, I will do a group by movie group name. Just to make it a little bit more simpler to look at. So you see the first entry for them, it's Little Mermaid, you know, number 9, Moana. The first value you have in the genres is animation. It's the first thing that comes up. We also just order by. If I could type today. Movie name. And now it just puts in, you know, alphabetical order. We could do this in ascending or descending order. So there's that. All I'm doing now, since I made this table, is I do have to make some more linking tables, obviously between actors to, you know, to distributors and such on. So that way we can have put down the full information set. But this is basically what I'm doing. So do apologize. I do have that product and I do have my Final 4, my network hardware. So I haven't started that. I don't plan to record that. That might get me in trouble, but this is also a another example is actually showing my friend. If I run this, another thing you could also use to leading actor, which would be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you know, and this is using that concat as well. And this one is actually a little bit more fancier. Movie name concat with separator. That's what WS stands for. And the separator is just a space. And so actor first name, stage last name, actor last name. You know, so Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as leading actor. And you can also format the date too, however you want to. By default, I guess I should also say, in at least in MySQL, it starts off with year, month, day, which can be a little bit, you know, weird, I guess, to look at depending on where you're at. I believe other countries read in that format. Here in America, not really. We do month, day, year. So I formatted that to that, and of course the USD we could change that up, but I'm not really going to do that. And this use separator you see right here, leading actor, it just says Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let's go ahead and we could put in as, just to show you. Now that's the separator. Now Dwayne as the as Rock as Johnson, or you just put commas. You can put anything you want. That is the separator between every single value we put into the concat. That's what separator. Now if you took off the WS, just put concat, it will just put it all together, but it gives that space in the front because we would have to put in the separator between every single variable we put in here. And I'm just a little bit too lazy for that. But I know I haven't really taught anything. Just basically saying what the stuff is, because yeah, if I were to start trying to teach this, I don't think I'm ready to do that. Maybe at one point in time, hopefully I will. I do help on my class a lot, but we're all obviously in the same level in this late stages of it, making users and such on. So thank you so much for understanding. Just want to show you why some things are... I'm not playing Shardbound, unfortunately, so much, if that's what you come here for. I mean, also I do have to play other games such as Smite and Pokemon Showdown and whatever, and I don't really touch that. Or this is for Mirror Edge, Catalyst, I do play that, and Dolphin. If y'all ever want to do net play, I'm more than happy to do some Smash. So but thank you so much, and sorry for the delays. Have a good day or night whenever you're watching this.